Hello, troopers. It is Will, and I am joined here by my wonderful co-host.
Chloe.
How are we doing? We hope you are well.
Yes.
Feels like it's been a while, but it's because obviously last episode I think we did was on last Monday,
Yeah.
so you can understand why. But yeah, it has been a while. We are back. And we've got another good episode today. I was talking to you, and I was like, I don't think we have done a episode on George Lucas, the man who created it. So why not do an episode on him? So that's the plan today. We do have some little bit of news beforehand.
We do.
Um,
We love the news.
we do love the news. We especially love this news because of who it involves. Should we show them?
Yep.
Should we stop teasing them? Should we just show them? All right. Yeah, all right. You asked for it. Yes.
We have another Hot Toy announcement. And it's another one from Ahsoka, but we all know this character from the Clone Wars.
It is live action
Captain Press
from the Ahsoka. Now, I know he was in it very brief, and there is a Hot Toy version of him.
Mm-hmm.
But this one's so much cooler. Like, the detail on his armor, and he just looks gorgeous.
He does.
Now I didn't think I'd be getting any Hot Toys or that. We're getting this one. I'm sorry, but he just looks so good. He's not overly expensive as well.
Mm-hmm.
I say not expensive, but like $200 for like a Hot Toy, just over 200 isn't bad, and especially if you split the payments as well. Now, don't expect to see this guy like this year. Yeah. Basically, if you go onto the Sideshow website, go on the Hot Toy, when you go on to like payment selection, if you did a full payment plan for it, you could get it on like your payments would be September, October, November, December 24
next year. Yeah.
So you're looking at like a year away.
Yeah.
So you're not getting him anytime soon.
No.
But he does look very cool. We have a couple of pictures for you. So we got that one. This one again. Look at the detail, like on the helmet.
Zoom in on it.
You want to zoom in?
You can just see like all of the details and stuff.
Like
all the sort of rust and welded marks and the battle scars, shall I say?
Yeah, and
the dirt with the little.
It looks perfect.
Yeah, and he's got like cloth fabric underneath his armor as well,
which he probably, which he would have probably been wearing, and I just love how much detail they put into these Hot Toys.
Yeah,
like look at the blasters as well. Like you've got the marking around the muzzle,
Yeah.
So
all these tiny little scratches and stuff.
It just makes it so realistic. And again, like I said, this is the live action one, so I know we only saw it very briefly, but it's like if I was to start a collection, I'd want like the live action one. So I'd have like a live action Rex, live action Cody,
And then, Anakin and
he does come with some extra bits. I can't remember every little bit, but another one is he comes with the Phase 1 helmet, and the sort of blaster. Now this is obviously
from the flashback.
The tiny little scene that we see him with his helmet, and I was like, that's Rex.
Yeah.
I'm not a massive fan of the Phase 1 helmet with Rex, to be honest. Yeah. I prefer his modified Phase 2.
Me too.
But again, it looks cool. Also, I think he's got a different pauldron. Yeah, I think. Yeah, he does, because look at the front.
Yeah.
So he comes with a different pauldron, blaster,
helmet.
Yeah, so Is that it? Yeah. I think there's other little bits that come with it, but
So cool.
another Pride. It doesn't have the Tem face like the Clone Wars one does,
Mhm.
because the Clone Wars one comes with the Tem face
With the
sculpture, blonde hair, and a sort of free 30-second helmet
Hmm.
to be him like looking. But this one I just think looks better, looks more realistic, and yeah, we will be adding this one to
The
our collection.
A fine addition to our collection.
A very fine addition, in my opinion.
Yeah,
We have some Lego news.
we do. We love a bit of Lego.
Yes.
So
So
this is being released next year.
the first,
Is it?
it's the 1st of January. This will
Not
be
long. Not long, guys.
no. This is the Clone Trooper Battle Droid Battle Pack.
So yeah, beefy clankers.
See, this
Regular
is a
tankers.
very, for what you get in this set and the price,
Mm-hmm.
this is probably like the best valued set.
Yeah,
So you get
100%.
9 minifigs.
Yeah.
So you get Coruscant Guard Shock Trooper. You get 3 brand new Phase 2 regs,
Mm-hmm.
which is, we haven't had a new reg or like a reg.
Since like the Clone Wars faces.
Yeah.
On the minifigs.
Yeah, like I've got one, but that's one of the old ones. So this is one of the new ones. There is definitely difference in the helmet and the look.
Mm-hmm.
Looks very good though. 2 normal Battle Droid B1s, 3 beefy clankers. So the beefy clankers are back, and they look almost like improved. They look better
Mhm.
than the older ones.
For you guys that don't know what a beefy clanker is, it's like the super battle droids
Yes.
that have like the red dot on their chest. So we call them beefy clankers because they're like bigger than the regular clankers.
They're like beefed up,
Yeah.
and we just love it, and that's what
So
we
that's
call
our
them.
nickname.
Beefy clankers. What's really cool as well is the packaging of the set.
Yeah.
Is from the Battle of Christophsis, which is like
Oh yeah.
which is from like the movie and
Mm.
all that, which is, I think, again, a really cool
Yeah.
box art.
Mm-hmm.
And we also get the big turret droid as well. So
Yeah.
you're getting quite a big set for.
Yeah.
Now,
I mean, in terms of Lego pieces, it doesn't look like there's very many. Like, you probably finish this set in, very quickly, probably half an hour, if that.
I think you buy the
But
set
you
for
buy
the
it
figures.
for the figures, yeah.
And the turret droid, in my opinion, I think is a really nice little addition to it.
Yeah.
We didn't expect to be getting that one, but another, like we said, another fine addition. Now,
Yeah.
I believe it's the value in the UK, because
Mhm.
I've only seen what it is in dollars. I believe it's like 25 quid.
Yeah.
For 9 minifigs and a decent set.
I think this one's going to be definitely popular with how many clone trooper figures you get as well. It's going to be a big one for army building.
Yeah.
For, those kind of collectors.
Again, it's another set with another shock trooper.
Yeah.
Now, I know that we had it in the gunship that's behind us. Set.
Yeah.
So there was like 3.
Yeah, and then there was Fox
Yes.
and Padme and
So we had
Palpatine.
that. Was there another set that they did recently that had one of these? I don't know if there
Not that
was.
I know.
But it's nice that we do have another. You got another chance to
You got
buy
another
a
one.
shock trooper.
Yeah.
There was also a young Jedi.
Oh yeah, Young Jedi Adventures.
Yeah, there was like another little set coming on the first, but
Yeah.
we're not really overly
Yeah.
excited about that
We
one.
haven't watched Young Jedi Adventures, so
No.
sorry if any of you are fans of that.
But yeah, I think this is a really cool set, and I am excited for it.
Yeah, me too. Another
Uh,
set we can look forward to after Christmas.
Yes, I think especially with the fact that it's like coming on the 1st.
Yeah.
So it's like it's not one of those where it's like, oh, we're getting this on like in May,
Mm.
like some of the other sets that we are excited for. But yeah,
Yeah.
just another cool set.
Very cool. I'm excited for that one.
I believe that is it for the news, if I am correct. But I believe we are ready.
To get on with today's episode.
Now, would you like to start? Because
Yeah.
you done more of the fact finding of him.
Yeah. So
Cool. So shall I get the photo up?
yeah, so we're gonna show a photo of George Lucas. Here we go. We'll zoom into it. So his full name is George Walton Lucas Jr. So his dad was George Lucas as well. But yeah, I never knew his middle name was Walton.
Walton Lucas.
Walton.
George.
feel
No,
like-
but
I feel like it's a very like old-fashioned name, Walton, isn't it? It's kind of like
Yes.
Walter. Yeah.
but I think as well, you know,
Yeah.
when you look at the years that he was, you know, I know he's still alive, thankfully,
Yeah.
but you look at when he was sort of doing this, you know, he was in his like what early 20s or just before it in 77.
Mm.
So you know, you would have imagined he was born around sort of 50s ish.
That's true. So yeah, I never knew his middle name was Walton. He is an American filmmaker. He's obviously well known for Indiana Jones and Star Wars.
I almost forget that he did Indiana Jones as well.
Yeah, me too. Like it's something you see at Disney, but you forget that it is a George Lucas thing.
And all the connections, mind, that there was in, I don't know if you've ever seen it, but all the connections of like Indiana Jones in Star Wars and Star Wars in Indiana Jones. Did you ever see that?
No.
So, for example, I can't remember which Indiana Jones film it is,
Mhm.
but they quickly go past the club, and the club is Club Obi-Wan.
Club Obi-Wan.
Yeah. In
So it's like
the
little Easter eggs.
hieroglyphics, there's
Mm.
an outline of R2D2 and C-3PO.
Okay, I'm gonna-
There's a lot of little nods,
Yeah.
shall we say.
There you go.
But then there's also a lot of Indiana Jones nods in Star Wars,
That's true.
like Andor.
Yeah.
Like there was the whip and the hat of Indian Luthen's shop.
Oh, there
there
was so
was
many Easter eggs.
The little, you know, the golden statue that he takes
Mhm.
in, I think it's Temple of Doom.
Yeah.
That one is in the background on the shelf. So there's so many references of like his two main projects.
Yeah.
Which is very cool.
That is very cool. And I know, you know, a lot of people are big fans of Indiana Jones. So he was born in 1944. So there you go. So he's 79 years old at the moment. So that's good. He's definitely getting on now. He is the founder of Lucasfilm, which we all know. LucasArts, which is like the game side of it. So, you know, when you play like Fallen Order or Revenge of the Sith video game, it comes out of LucasArts. And Industrial
I
Light
always
and
used to
Magic.
remember that image because it was like the
Yeah.
golden guy, and he was sort of like his
Yeah.
arms were like up. Yeah.
Yeah, I love that. So like nostalgic.
Yes.
The little gold guy. Industrial Light and Magic, which we all know is
They're
like
huge.
the most famous, like, you know, graphics and visual effects industry there is. THX, which is like the sound. So some films you'll put on. There was like a famous scene in Over the Hedge where there's like the THX logo at the start of the movie,
Yeah.
and it's like,
Yeah.
but like it's really loud.
There was also a weird one that they did. There was like this robot, and he plugged this like weird little cow thing into the THX logo, and he turned it, and it was like moo.
Oh,
It was a weird one that they did with THX, but I do remember it very clearly,
I'm gonna have to
especially
look
at the
up that one.
start of all the Star Wars films,
Yeah.
like on VHS and that. So
And it was all so loud. Although you don't get that on Disney Plus now.
No, because it's just like
Yeah, it's just it
20
gets into the movie.
20th century
Like,
film.
So obviously we all know in 2012 he sold the Lucasfilm rights to Disney. But do you know how much he sold it for?
I'm gonna say 10 billion.
Okay, no, that's way too much. He sold it for 4 million.
Well, he's been lowballed.
Yep.
He should have sold it for
Star
10
Wars
billion.
is worth a lot more than
It's
4
worth
million.
10 billion.
But still, that is a lot of money. Like,
That's a lot.
but you know, for something that is your life's work, you know, he put so much into Star Wars, and then to sell it for 4 million. Wow. But I had no idea it was 2012 because obviously The Force Awakens got made in 2015.
So they got it, the first
took-
film, pretty quick.
Yeah, so it took from 2012 them getting the rights to it, and then 2015 them releasing their first like Star Wars Disney thing. Other than like obviously Rebels and stuff, but that was like a Disney XD thing
Yeah.
before. He sold Lucasfilm's graphics division to Steve Jobs, who
Oh, wow.
is obviously the co-founder of Apple. That later became Pixar Animation Studios.
So he basically created Pixar.
Basically, yeah.
That's crazy.
Which is Disney anyway. So his life's work is all around Disney. He based the character of Han Solo on his friend Francis Ford Coppola, which a lot of people, you may know Francis Ford Coppola from like making The Godfather. There's like loads of other films. His family is very famous. He's isn't he like Nicolas Cage's uncle or something?
I think so, something like that.
Also, I know this is Indiana Jones again, but obviously it's about George Lucas.
This is
making
George Lucas
JoJo's.
episode.
So he came up with Indiana Jones, like the idea of that character, when he was on holiday in Hawaii with Steven Spielberg.
Those two had a good friendship as well, if I remember right.
I think they directed a lot of like movies together. They helped each other out.
Yeah, I was going to say, I think they helped each other out a bit.
And George Lucas wanted Steven Spielberg to direct, I think it was Return of the Jedi, but apparently he couldn't do it because like the studio wouldn't let him or something, so someone else directed it. But
Well, that's a bit silly, isn't it?
yeah. Bit silly.
Turned down one of the greatest film
Yeah.
directors of all time to do.
Although, yeah, it's fine.
It turned out
was
great.
still a very good movie, so yeah. It may have been a very different movie if he
Would have
directed.
probably been a very different movie.
The script for Star Wars A New Hope was turned down by every major Hollywood studio at that time because they claimed nobody would want to see it. In a last attempt, George took it to 20th Century Fox, and it ended up being the highest grossing movie ever released at that time. So it just goes to show all those
Don't give up.
companies were completely wrong, saying no one will watch it. Ended up being, you know, so different to the point where everyone wanted to see it, and
It's
it made really good money.
reminds me very much of that meme of you all laughed at me.
Yeah,
Well, I have to say, you're not laughing now.
no, look at me now. He kept the rights to Star Wars and didn't outright sell it to 20th Century Fox, making him a very rich man.
So you know what it was that he did? What got him the money?
No.
So, if I remember right, now I might be wrong, but if I'm right, basically, when after the first film,
Yeah.
one of the things that he wanted to keep was the rights to all the merchandise.
Yeah.
And basically, because he kept he was like, no, I want all the merchandise rights. He got all the money from all the toys, posters, figures, everything. And that is what earned him so much money that was able to pay for like
Yeah.
the next one, because like if he hadn't have done that deal,
Yeah.
the studio would have made the money and he wouldn't have made like anything really.
No.
So because they didn't think it was gonna, they didn't think the toys and everything were gonna sell.
No.
Again, how wrong?
Yeah. Just goes to show,
Clever
doesn't
man.
it? Yeah. He knew what was gonna.
He knew he was creating a galaxy.
Yeah. I mean, he was essentially just creating something based off things that he liked.
And as well, when you think of
Yeah.
it, now I know, it's still a very long way away.
Mm.
But even after we're gone,
Yeah.
Star Wars will still be going.
Oh yeah, 100%.
Even though there won't be anyone from the original films left,
No.
or the even some of the prequels and like
Yeah.
but it will be a thing that will continue.
Yeah.
Because it is that popular of a franchise.
Yeah.
I
mean,
me and you were wandering around Asda
Yeah.
earlier, and there's just someone wandering around with like a Star Wars top.
Yeah.
Like, just because the shop isn't selling it, it's everywhere you go, even
Yeah.
now. So, and this is this one man's like creation.
Yeah.
Speaking of this creation as well, I really like this photo. It's George Lucas. I believe it's on the set of Empire.
Yeah.
And there's obviously Vader in his in his little chamber. I'm assuming it's Dave Prowse in that one.
Yeah.
Which is quite cool.
Mhm.
I wonder who that. I'd love to know who that Vader is, by the way,
Yeah.
because it's at an event or something.
Mm.
Maybe
I
we
wonder
try.
if that's at like Disney or something.
I think it might have been like I think this is when like
Or like
Galaxy's
premiere.
Edge was opened or something. I might be wrong, but like maybe we try and get this Vader on the show.
Maybe.
Get another
Someone
Vader.
that works for Disney.
Another Vader. The Disney Vader.
It does look very cool.
I like this one again. It's quite a cool one.
Very cool.
Yeah.
I feel like it would be really funny, like being George Lucas looking at Vader cosplayers or Vader merch and stuff, and him thinking, I created this character. Like,
Absolutely.
I wonder what he thinks in his mind.
Because again, that's like a full-on proper cosplay. That's not, that's not
That
like
ain't
just
no
some random man.
cheap, like Amazon job.
No, that's the full works.
That is.
But I like as well, if you look at George's face, he looks like almost like happy. Like he's just looking at Vader's mask being like, you are like my pretty much. Vader is basically his greatest creation, in my opinion. Like the whole story of Vader and Anakin,
100%.
So that is, in my opinion, his greatest creation. He's just admiring it.
It's very cool. Hey, we got Alpine in the chat. It's a nice looking Vader there.
That is a nice looking Vader.
He is nice.
That is a very nice looking Vader. Alpine, if you know who that is,
let us know. He's very cool. So how he came up with the nickname of Luke, like Luke Skywalker. His nickname at school was Luke because obviously George Lucas. So that's why he named like the hero protagonist Luke, because it was like his nickname, which I never knew before. But I thought that was really cool.
Alpine says, "I don't." He looks great though.
He does.
He does. He does. It's actually very. Shall we have a little? Shall we have a little analysis of this Vader? What has he got in his hand?
I feel like it's Empire Vader.
Okay. What's he got in his hand?
I don't know. It looks like some kind of torch or microphone. I don't know.
He's looking
He's
quite a
actually
bit
touching
emotional.
George Lucas.
George, this is-
Imagine what that cosplayer is like. His expression.
that looks like an award.
Oh, it might be.
Okay. I will have to find out more information. But again,
I think that cosplayer must be smiling inside because, like, he's actually touching George Lucas right now. But yeah, very cool. So George Lucas's favorite part of filmmaking is editing it together. So that's the best part for him.
well,
When
that
it's all
will eventually lead on to my points of George in a bit.
Yeah.
But
So, I'm sure you definitely is.
yes, he is definitely.
Definitely smiling. I think we'd all like to meet George Lucas one day.
Yes.
It would be very cool to
Have you
meet the
seen-
man that made it all.
Have you seen the video of like some guy doing like a documentary and George Lucas just walks in the background?
No.
Like he's like, huh? He doesn't even realise.
I feel like it's one of those things that you won't realise until like they've walked past you and you're like doing a double take. Like, what's that George Lucas? I'm surprised like he wasn't at Celebration. But maybe he's a busy guy. He's quite old now. So.
I mean, he might have been there in secret.
Yeah, true. Behind the scenes.
Well, there was a George Lucas cosplayer that we saw
Oh, yeah,
at
true.
Celebration and at London Comic Con. He was quite cool, wasn't he? Did you see him?
I don't remember him at London Comic Con.
He had the like sort of red and black stripy top on. He had the beard, and
Yeah.
I think Emily got a photo with him. So I'm gonna find that for you now.
Okay, I'm gonna
Keep
give you
going.
guys some more facts. So, Episode 4 was the only George Lucas Star Wars movie funded by a studio. For Episodes 5 and 6, he took out bank loans, which he paid off on each film's earnings. But for the prequels, he had earned enough money from the other films, so he paid for everything out of his personal savings. So that just goes to show, like, you know, the amount of money he made on the films, the figures and everything. He made all the prequels out of his own pocket, basically. He received a medal from US President George W. Bush for his outstanding achievement in improvements of technology in movies, made from his special effects company, Industrial Light and Magic. Oh yeah, I remember now. we have a picture of the the George Lucas
I'll let you zoom in
cosplayer.
and he's holding up a sign
And
that
he
says
says,
Greedo shot first.
He does look like him, to be fair. He's got the shirt right and the beard.
I like that. What else have we got in photos?
That's a very cool picture. Which leads me on to my next point about Chewbacca, actually.
Well, there you go.
So Chewbacca was modelled around the way his dog looked. So he had a dog called Indiana, which is where he got the name for Indiana Jones.
I've just realised something now that you've mentioned that.
What?
There is a line referencing that in Indiana Jones.
Really?
Yeah, because I just remember, because there's a scene. Which one is it? You know the one with Sean Connery, where he's playing Indy's dad,
Mm-hmm.
and at the end of the film, he's like, "We called the dog Indy." It's like he was named after the dog Indiana.
His name's
That's
Indiana.
quite cool, isn't it?
Okay,
I
so
quite
yeah,
like that.
George Lucas had a dog called Indiana, and he modelled Chewbacca off of his dog.
So it was brown and
So
hairy.
probably brown and hairy. I'm not sure. I haven't seen a picture of this dog. All I know is it's called Indiana. But I mean, Chewbacca is very much like his personality and loyalty and stuff. It's very much like a dog. So
Yeah.
I can see.
Makes sense.
From being a dog owner, you can.
Well,
So, also Alec Guinness, or Sir Alec Guinness, was helpful to him on set of episode 4. So apparently he would help get other actors to be more serious on set. So, don't know, keep them
in line.
in line, and help them act a certain way on screen and stuff. There's a lot of facts about episode 4, I'll be honest, but obviously this was when George Lucas was like starting out. So during the making of episode 4, George was very stressed, and he ended up being hospitalized. I don't know if that's how you say it. Hospitalized. But he was diagnosed with hypertension.
Oh wow.
So he stressed himself out so much on the set of episode 4 that he had to go to hospital.
That's not good.
No, not good at all. Skywalker Ranch. So this is like the place we really want to go, to be honest.
If you're a Star Wars fan, this is the place.
This is like, is it the Lucasfilm like headquarters?
Yeah, and like every archives are there as
Yeah.
well. It's heaven.
So much there.
It's literally
I
heaven.
want to go.
And I know someone who has
if we
been there.
ever get a chance to go, we're going
I'm doing it.
because
I will take time off work.
we have to go. So apparently, the size of Skywalker Ranch is 3,000 acres.
Jeez.
Like, that's bigger than I can ever think of.
I'm gonna look up the equivalent.
Yeah, how big is 3,000 acres? Is that like 3 football pitches or something?
No, it's more than
Way
that.
more than that.
Way more than that.
We're gonna look this up. So
You keep going and I'll find it.
George Lucas's. So this kind of ties in with his like inspiration for Star Wars. So his favorite film is a film called Seven Samurai by Akira Kurosawa. So like, obviously we've talked a bit about this on previous episodes. The lightsabers and the Jedi are very much based off of like samurai kind of people. So, being that a samurai movie was like one of his favorite films, a lot of the stuff is based off of other space kind of programs and films and stuff, but then you've got this whole samurai kind of side of it as well. It's just he's made something new, but taken inspiration from lots of different things, which I think is kind of the beauty of Star Wars, really. He's won the AFI Lifetime Achievement Award, and he's won 2 Emmys, but he's never won an Oscar, which I was really surprised at, to be honest.
That's shocking.
I know. He should have won an Oscar for at least one of the Star Wars movies because,
Should have won my whole lot.
yeah, he should. He should, in fairness. But, for episode 4 and stuff to be like the biggest grossing movie of that time, that's an achievement in itself. Having something that's completely new, obviously similar to like shows and movies and stuff that were out back then, but it was a whole new way of telling a story that was in space, with like bad guys, good guys, aliens, and the way everything was. You've got these weapons that are laser swords, and people never thought of that kind of thing before. So yeah, I feel like he should have won an Oscar, but hey. And my last fact, his childhood dream was to become a race car driver, but obviously he didn't end up becoming a race car driver. He became George Lucas, the director and maker of Star Wars.
God.
And here we are today. We wouldn't have our podcast if he hasn't made
No,
Star
we wouldn't.
Wars.
What would we be chatting about? Be like, hi guys, welcome back to the Hunger Games podcast.
Yeah.
What else? This is like, but yeah, just quickly had a little look here. I still believe I think it's second. It's the highest
Second?
grossing franchises, like
Oh,
film
really?
franchises.
Yeah.
Spider-Man.
I mean, it has to be in the top.
2,
Oh, it's
second,
number 2, yeah.
behind the MCU.
Oh, really?
But that is because when you think of the MCU, though, they have made like
Yeah, they've made a lot more
19
movies.
something plus films and
And
shows.
they're very much like, even all the Star Wars comics are labeled Marvel, aren't
Yeah.
they? So,
But
yeah.
that's crazy. Oh,
But
also,
in my personal opinion, I think Star Wars is better than Marvel, but that's just my opinion.
hey, we're not here to cause problems.
No, I
Mark.
don't want to cause tension.
But I have looked it up here.
Yep.
The equivalent of 3,000 acres.
Okay.
Do you want to know?
Yeah.
It's crazy.
Is that
It's crazy.
okay? So this is how
It-
big Skywalker Ranch is.
So you said 3,000 acres.
3,000 acres.
It's as big as Sydney Airport, which is about 2,000 acres.
It's bigger than that. Bigger than an
It's
airport.
about as big as London Heathrow Airport. London Heathrow is 3,032 acres. So Skywalker
So
is literally
somewhere-
like basically Heathrow. That's
Yeah.
crazy.
because they've got so many like props and things they use in the movies there, haven't they? And they've got like offices, people work there. Like isn't it like the home of like Lucasfilm, isn't it? So all the planning for new shows, new movies, and everything is all done. in
Like
that
they'll
building.
go to Skywalker Ranch. And
Yeah.
Like
I imagine the tour that you go on when you go to Skywalker Ranch. Like the offices are completely separated from that. Like you would.
but you can stay there as well, I believe. So there's like.
There you go. So
But
it's like a built-in hotel.
Because this is the thing, if I remember right, like people that have stayed there include like former presidents and like
Yeah.
very special VIPs, and one of my bosses who stayed there, the Jamie Kit, and I would fight him.
Yeah.
I would fight him if there was a competition today.
Yeah.
And he was like, "No, I'm going Skywalker Ranch." I'd be like, "No,
No.
I'm going.
Yeah.
I'm the one with a Star Wars podcast. I don't care if you're the manager. Screw you. I'm going."
Yeah.
And then
Yeah.
now,
I hope we get a chance to go one day.
oh, please, I would love that.
Yeah.
Now, I've got this image up here
He
because you
looks-
didn't
he
realise
looks like
this. did you?
Jafar of Aladdin.
You didn't realise this, did you?
No, I never knew this.
This was George Lucas in Revenge of the Sith.
I never knew he was in the movie.
Now, okay, I'll show you the image of. Basically, you know when Anakin runs to the theater to meet Palpatine to hear the tragedy of Darth
Darth
Plagueis.
Plagueis, wise.
So basically, just before he goes in,
Mm-hmm.
there's this guy
Yeah.
and another blue alien stood outside the door, and it's George Lucas and his daughter.
Oh wow. Okay, I never knew that.
do
The
you know
bit before he like runs up the stairs.
No, he runs up the stairs and outside the door, like George. See, there's Anakin going in there. There's
Oh,
George Lucas
wow.
and his daughter.
It's such a quick scene, and he probably sat there for hours painting his face blue.
Probably someone else done it.
Yeah.
But do you remember the character? Because the character was in Clone Wars.
I don't remember.
You know Senator Chuchi.
I recognise that name.
Senator Chuchi, the
I'm
blue
sure I would've-
senator.
I
The
think-
like sort
yeah.
of the one that with the like
Oh yeah,
snow
the one that
planet.
helped, Padme.
yeah.
Yeah, I remember now.
Yeah.
So that it was played by his daughter in.
No. So Senator Chuchi is basically he's like the royal family,
Mm.
and Senator Chuchi is like the voice
Yeah,
of
she was the senator.
Pantora or something like that. Something like that. But yeah, so George Lucas was in he actually was in Star Wars.
Wow.
And did you know his son was in Star Wars as well?
Oh yeah, I know this one. So it's Revenge of the Sith again. when
What's
when
the
Senator Organa is like in the ship by the temple, and then Apo or whoever's there is like 501st, and they're like, "Sorry, sir, there's been a rebellion." And then there's like the little Jedi kid.
Yeah,
and that is George Lucas's son.
I believe it's Jet. I think his name's
Yeah,
Jet
Jet
something.
Lucas.
Jet Lucas.
And he's actually pretty good Jedi.
But then he gets killed.
Yeah, he does.
Can't handle the 501st, mate.
But he was outnumbered. There was a lot of 501st.
Couldn't handle the 501st.
Very true.
That's all I'm gonna say.
But they were like proper skilled, so you weren't used to that. He was only a youngling.
Even George Lucas's boy can survive the 501st. There you go.
But yeah, he looks straight up
Ooh.
like Jafar out of Aladdin to me.
I can see why you would think that, but yeah. I'm just gonna bring that one back up while I'm talking about. So my sort of research into the man himself
Yes.
was looking at the changes that he made.
To Star Wars.
Yeah, like after the film was created.
Ah, okay.
So after he'd released the original films, he's added in these changes.
Mhm.
Now, these changes I'm going to be talking about are ones that have improved the film. I'm not going to be talking about some of the ones that, you know, quite notorious in terms of like the singing in Return of the Jedi and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But these are ones that have made the films better just for effects and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So you ready?
Yeah.
Okay. So we have in Empire Strikes Back.
Yeah.
He improved the Wampa design and added shots of it eating,
Ah, okay.
basically to make the character more scary.
Menacing.
So basically, when it was originally released, it was like a guy in costume, and he was just like sort of wobbling, and you
feel
just
like I've
didn't
seen
saw
a
him in the
picture.
background. You didn't
Yeah.
really see him. So they wanted to make it a little bit more like scary. So they changed the face of it.
I think I know why this was, because Mark Hamill, who plays Luke, he got into a really bad car accident, like during the making of Empire. So they
No, it was his
Or
car
was it-
crash was in '77
okay. So it was before
because it was in the same
it
year.
was before they made it. Oh well.
Yeah.
But either way, he had really bad like scarring on his face or like injury. So they had to change the Wampa scene to like an attack scene, basically. So I think, you know, their initial plan was just have the Wampa like a character in the background, you know, like any other alien or Wookiee. But then, you know, to make it, you know, more realistic, like Luke has been attacked by this Wampa
Well,
and he's back to tank.
not being confirmed that, but that's what people believe.
Well, yeah.
George
So-
has never was like that wasn't the case of why I added in the Wampa thing. But you can see
So
in it he's like eating the like thing and he looks more terrifying. So
Yeah.
again, an improvement that was made.
Mhm.
He expanded Cloud City to add scenery to it. So again, in the original release, basically Cloud City was quite white and you didn't see any of the backdrop and the city,
Mhm.
and it was all like a bit like you couldn't see it.
Yeah.
But then obviously again in one of the later editions, he got rid of some of the background and put in like scenery of the city and like ships flying past the window to give it more of that like
You're in another world.
you're in a city, like you're not like underground out the way, stuff like that. Again, so much better.
Mhm.
Now, he got rid of cardboard cutout rebels at the end of A New Hope. So when Luke and Han and Chewie enter the room,
Mm.
the rebels at the start are cardboard cutouts, and they look bad.
Oh wow.
They look very bad. So again, he's basically digitally edited them, so they look they
Like
actually
real
look like there's people there now instead of really bad cutouts. So again, another improvement.
Makes me want to go back and watch like the previous versions.
I don't. No,
to
no, no,
see
no,
the
not now.
differences.
No, 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 not
No.
now. He added Ian McDiarmid to the Empire Strikes Back.
Mhm.
Now I know this is quite a, should we say, an obvious one, but for me, it just makes sense to add him doing the lines because the original Emperor,
Mhm.
was a bit tatty, wasn't it?
I think we spoke a bit about this one before. Where...
It was like a woman, I believe, before.
Yeah.
So, yeah, that was again simple one that they did.
Mhm.
He added better lightsaber effects,
Mhm.
especially within like A New Hope. So, for example, if you watch the sort of original versions of Vader versus Kenobi on the Death Star,
Yeah.
there's bits where Vader's lightsaber just sort of looks white, like the color has gone.
Yeah.
So he redid the effects on that, so they look like lightsabers and they look more crisp.
So you
Again,
can see clearly this is the bad guy's lightsaber. This is the good
this is
guy's
the red.
lightsaber.
This is the blue. He added the dialogue of "Open the blast doors." So this was just like a little bit of a funny one. So when they were being chased, and the doors are shut, and you hear the stormtrooper like, "Close the blast doors."
Mm.
But then, as the door closes and they run up to the door, they're like, "Open the blast doors! Open the blast doors!" So a little dialogue that I think made it better, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Changed the corridor scene in A New Hope. So basically, in the original, again, when Han chases off after the stormtroopers,
Mhm.
they just come to like a corridor when the stormtroopers realize, hang on a minute, we've got more numbers than them, and then decide to chase them back. And it was just a bit weird. It was just like in a random corridor, they just realized, hang on a minute, there's more of us.
Yeah.
So he obviously added the change in the background where it's like, oh look, there's a hangar full of stormtroopers.
Yeah.
So it was like made it better.
That does, yeah.
He extended the ending of Return of the Jedi.
Mhm.
So George wasn't very happy with how it was just like rebels partying with some Ewoks, like just on the planet, just like we party. That's how it ends.
Yeah.
So he added in he extended it, so it included like the celebrations on like all the different planets.
Yeah.
Again.
Oh yeah.
Really makes
That's
it
true, because it
better.
goes to like Naboo and everywhere.
Yeah. So again, very good.
Mhm.
CGI Yoda in Phantom Menace. So obviously on like Disney Plus and all that.
I know this one.
He changed Yoda from the puppet
Mhm.
version to a CGI version
It does look a lot better.
because it flows with the prequels.
Yeah.
So in my opinion, spot on. Thank you, George.
Yeah.
Alpine, if you're here, you'll find this one quite interesting.
Mhm.
He got rid of Vader's eyebrows in Return of the Jedi.
Yeah.
So basically, again, in the original Return of the Jedi, Sebastian Shaw had very thick black eyebrows on this quite, should we say, like supposedly damaged face.
Yeah.
So it looked a bit weird, but obviously with Revenge of the Sith, and we realise what happens to Anakin with him getting completely burnt.
I don't think he would have eyebrows.
George edited it so he got rid of the eyebrows, changed the color of his skin a bit to make it more of a like a whitey like.
And he changed the color of his eyes as well.
He did. He changed it to match Hayden's to be like a blue, and obviously added the markings on the head as well to match. So
Yeah.
Again,
the eyebrows,
it's like really little things, but it makes a huge difference to the film.
But these like CGI, like him taking out the eyebrows and stuff, like you'd never know.
No.
You watch it and you're like,
I was like, I didn't even realize that the original had eyebrows. Like,
yeah.
So again, another really subtle one, but is a really good one. So when Han almost falls off the skiff in Return of the Jedi, the original version, he's just sort of being held by Chewie, and it looks very weird because it's like, how is Chewie like holding him?
Yeah.
Like, it just didn't look right. So he added in CGI rope around Han's feet and legs. Like, it's so good. I didn't even realize that was CGI.
No, you'd never know.
I had no idea. What else did we do? Okay, so basically as well, in New Hope, the tractor beam, which Obi-Wan turns off, was originally in English. So it said like tractor beam, power, like low, high, whatever.
Yeah.
At the time, Urabesh wasn't created, so he hadn't made it. By the time, so then when he did have it as a language that he'd made, he changed the scene so the writing went from English to Urabesh to sort of flow with the Star Wars continuity.
A lot of things are in Urabesh.
Everything's in Urabesh, basically.
And a lot of things are really funny as well, in like the Kenobi series and stuff. In the city where you've got all the neon lights and it's like Urabesh, there's like some really funny ones, and there's one on the building says SW milk. It's like Star Wars milk.
I think that was the thing. Like, I watched a lot of these breakdown videos of people, and they've gone through
like
all the signs.
The Urabesh.
And some of them have just been like complete nonsense.
Yeah. Like Market, Jawa.
Yeah. He added in the infamous Stormtrooper bump sound.
Oh yeah.
Now again, we all notice this is like.
Yeah.
I love it. Like, I know we've all seen it when he does it, but I love it afterwards because he walks in and you can see him sort of like sorting his helmet out, like, oh god, I've been hit in the face. Yeah. Again, another George Lucas masterpiece.
Yep.
Now this one, again, really big. He added the CGI shots of the rebel ships leaving Yavin 4 in A New Hope. Now, if you watch the original, he basically made it look like they were far off in the distance leaving, and it was just white little dots, like it was like blinking, you miss it really.
Yeah.
So he added in the CGI of like the X-wing like lifting up, turning. It's like so much better.
Yeah.
So
cool.
He added sand. He basically added. He wasn't happy with the shot of like a sand crawler coming over the sort of hill because it looked sort of too slow and just like wasn't happy with it.
Yeah.
So again, using sort of visual effects and that, he redone it, like, so he changed the angle and made it come a bit quicker, and it looks a lot more like imposing and big. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So you see it better. He got rid of matte lines from most shots. Now, that one probably doesn't sound like a big deal, but
on the sand, do you mean?
No, matte lines. So basically, where stuff were put into shots together, like edited, they would have like basically like a black outline of the matte. So like on the edge of the Rancor or the end of the snow speeders,
I see.
You would see like a black line around them. So using his editing,
Mm-hmm.
he got rid of the black lines, which makes it look more.
Realistic.
Yeah.
Like it's actually in that
Yeah.
environment. Yeah.
Again, something that you probably wouldn't notice,
Mm-hmm.
but when you see a clip of it before and after, it's like it makes so much difference because, like, out of the snow speeders, you can't see like a black line around them.
Yeah.
Bit of a controversial one, this one, I know, but he replaced Sebastian Shaw with Hayden Christensen
Oh,
at the
yeah.
end of Return of the Jedi.
A
Now,
lot of people know this one.
a lot of people aren't happy with this one, but in my opinion, I think it's a good change because, in my opinion, especially with Ahsoka and Anakin coming back as Hayden,
Yeah.
in that it's like the show is pretty much confirming Anakin died when he was defeated by Kenobi on Mustafar, or when he got taken over, or when he became Palpatine's apprentice.
Yeah.
Like that was the death of Anakin.
Yeah.
So for him to come back as the younger version just makes so much more sense.
Yeah.
So
I think the reason why a lot of people don't like it is because obviously the blue ghost of Obi-Wan is Alec Guinness. So it's like the older version of Obi-Wan, and then you've got the younger version of Anakin, even though they're
but Obi-Wan was an old man when he died.
Yeah.
Yoda was an
Which
old
is
being when he
the whole
died.
point. Yeah.
Anakin came back to
Yeah.
the light, but no, for my opinion, he died when
When he was in Palpatine's office.
Yeah. And then basically last one, he added a blinking eye effect to the diagonal. I think I said it right. The trash compactor, like little swampy thing.
Yeah.
Basically, before it was just like it come up and was like looking around, went down. Whereas with a little blink of a blinking eye,
Yeah.
it looks like a creature. So
Yeah.
it's like.
Yeah, that's a good one.
I feel like I missed one. Did I mention the one about Jabba's palace?
I don't think so.
So obviously we know about the dancing scene that
Mhm.
wasn't a good change that he did, but like there was. Oh yes, so Ula the dancer, when she's basically had enough and then like tries breaking free and goes into the Rancor pit, he added in that scene to make Jabba more menacing, and it just made him more of the like ruthless gangster instead of just being some sort of alien sat there.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, there's that.
Yeah. I
Very
think
good.
that dancer lady was at Comic-Con recently as well.
She was. I don't
I
think.
think was it Wells Comic-Con? I'm not sure.
But I definitely remember seeing
But
that she was at one of these
Yeah.
things. Should we do meme of the week first?
Yeah.
Okay. Meme of the week, and we have. Your thoughts dwell on your mother.
My thoughts dwell on your mother.
Oh, snap now.
So, if you guys listen, this is the meme of the week. So it's the scene where Anakin's in like the Jedi Council chamber,
And he's being tested.
and Ki-Adi-Mundi said, "Your thoughts dwell on your mother." It's like, my thoughts dwell on your mother.
And then it's Yoda and Mace Windu being like, "Oh."
I think this is funny.
I like this one.
Funny one.
Yeah, it's just a very simple one, but again, Anakin the Savage.
He is a savage.
That would have been quite funny if he responded with like. I thought I did quite a good Ki-Adi-Mundi impression then.
Yeah.
Your thoughts dwell on your mother.
What about the George attack on the Wookiees?
And let me just get it up. I think it's time for Trooper to speak.
Yeah.
So we have another 2 troopers.
Yeah.
Do you want to go first this week?
So my trooper of the week is someone called Kai Kestis. So he cosplays as Cal Kestis
from the Jedi Fallen Order games. A lot of you may know him from Celebration, when Cameron Monaghan, the one that plays Cal Kestis in the game, he had a poncho on and he took it off and he threw it out in the crowd to a guy that was cosplaying as Cal, and it was this guy. But he recently went to a Comic-Con and actually got to see the guy again. Hold on. I'm trying to get you guys to see. So sorry, it's a bit blurry, but this is Cameron Monaghan, who plays Cal Kestis, and this is Kai. Very cool cosplay, and he actually got him to sign the poncho from Celebration. And I read the sort of bit that he wrote about it, and he said that Cameron Monaghan recognised him from Celebration, which I thought was very cool.
That's a big shout out. Fair play.
Yeah. I think, after playing the Jedi Fallen Order and, a bit of Jedi Survivor, you really get to like Cal's character. I don't know if it's just because, you're playing as him that you end up liking him, but, I think it would be really cool to meet Cameron and
BD.
Yeah, BD is my favorite choice.
BD one, we got BD one here somewhere.
BD one.
We got our own BD one here somewhere.
Yeah. But no, I thought his cosplay was very cool, and it was cool how he got given the poncho at Celebration, and how it's actually signed by the real.
The real deal.
The real deal.
Yep.
So yeah, I'd give him a shout out because that picture was very cool. Like 2 cows in one pig.
Very good. So I do mine now. So mine is Clone Commander Apo. Basically another one of our
very cool cosplayer
that has just started following us.
He cosplays as Commander Apo, if you haven't guessed.
But he does 501st, just sort of normal as well. I believe he is part of the 501st, the Ohio Garrison.
Mm-hmm.
So again, this might be
very, very cool
another trooper that we might be getting on soon. We're trying to get as many different garrisons and people on as we can. Yeah, shows this one. So this is his latest pick that he done with.
So he's the one in the middle.
We got to sort our pictures out, haven't we? We got to find.
Camera isn't very great, but
yeah, you can
get the idea. He's the clone cosplayer in the middle.
Yeah. But just a very cool clone cosplay, and again 501st.
Yeah.
But
we love all the 501st. if you haven't guessed already.
Really?
Yeah.
But yeah, so there was another
very cool cosplayers. We love the cosplayers, don't we?
We do, because you guys are so cool, and it's just so cool to see when we're at a Comic-Con or Celebration. You're just like, look it up. Just...
they've made that, and it looks like you walked off the set.
Yeah, and they should have really, but
yeah.
So that's going to be it this week. We hope you've enjoyed this episode about Thank the Maker.
Yeah, something a bit different.
Yeah, and we will obviously be fine doing something else next week. I'm not sure what. Yeah, we'll have a discussion.
Yeah.
But yeah,
we'll some outcome.
We hope you've enjoyed this, and make sure to give us a follow and a like. Yeah. Just quickly, last little thing, we got our Spotify Wrapped podcast edition the other day.
We did.
I just want to say a massive thank you and shout out to all our new listeners and people that have listened and have joined us in this wonderful thing that we do every week. Was this episode 85? We're 15 episodes away from 100.
Wow.
100 episodes. So
crazy.
Again, we just want to give you a little, thank you for.
Shout out to you guys. You are our troopers of the week.
You are troopers of life.
Yes. You are troopers for life.
But yeah, no, it just means a lot for, to me and to Chloe that,
Yeah.
you listen to us or watch us. And, we're trying to make our content better for you guys. And, we'd love making friends from this. And yeah, we hope to make more memories and more friends.
And we're thankful to George Lucas for obviously making Star Wars. Otherwise, we wouldn't be here today.
Yes,
we
like I
wouldn't-
said, this could be the Hunger Games.
I
Welcome to the...
mean, Star Wars has brought so many fans together. Brought so many friendships and things. Like, obviously, when I met you, we were talking about Star Wars.
that
You know,
that again, Star Wars is something that brought me and Chloe together.
Yeah.
Because we both had a very shared interest.
Yeah.
In Star Wars. That was what what brought us closer together in our, because we were able to basically talk all day
yeah.
about it, and then we got closer, and then here we are still doing it.
Yeah.
So, yeah, we'll see you guys next week.
We will.